Good morning, beautiful souls. What's up, y'all? It is Winning Wednesday, live with LC and you. And today we're going to talk about the power of words, how words heal, words destroy, and words create. We're going to talk about how words play into the addiction to misery that we all sometimes find ourselves in, but don't even realize that we're there until we learn a little something about it. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you. I truly, truly am. As always, it's one of the highlights of my week to get to come here and spend time with such amazing, beautiful, transforming souls. And I don't know, it's my blessing. It truly, truly is. And I know that sounds a little bit selfish, but it makes me happy. But I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we get into today. I want to, as always, thank my collaborating partner, Pamela Topjian of Breakthrough Hypnotherapy, just for all the amazing work that she does on the behalf of Recovery Soul Food in this community. It's always, I don't know, it just fills me till almost overflowing with gratitude in that when you set out a prayer and an intention and you have that with a pure heart, that it is answered. And sometimes we stay so connected when we're in that place of prayer that we stay so connected with the not having it and the desperation of the situation that we don't allow the receiving of that answer to come in. And Pamela and our friendship will always, always, always remind me of how it was for me to open up and receive and to just trust. So our episode today is brought to you by Breakthrough Hypnotherapy. Stick around to the end of the video so that you can get a special gift from Breakthrough Hypnotherapy. But check out Breakthrough Hypnotherapy here on Facebook, or you can head over to the website at hypnobreakthrough.com. I'm amazingly happy to be here with you and to see all of you. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Livy. Good morning, Paula Folsom. In fact, I was thinking of you yesterday. Again, nothing is by chance. What's up, Rachel Dahmer? Love to see you, my friend, my friend. So if you like our content, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/recovery soul food. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. We're now really active on Twitter because of my collaborating partner there who helps me in all things social media. That is Recovery Soul Food without the FOOD. So it's Recovery Soul FD. That's there on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, and all that stuff is down in the description box. Let's get into this Winning Wednesday because I'm super excited to share it with you. All right, so if y'all are ready, I'm ready. Let's go. It's show time, ladies and gentlemen and human beings of all types. Man, I am super grateful to be here talking to you about this today because, as always, I bring you stuff that I'm studying myself and stuff that's been really important to me in my life, in my walk, in my recovery, in my transformation, in my healing. And as of lately, I've really been noticing a lot more of what I already know to be true, which is the power of words. Now, I want to read you something that my good friend, Pamela Topjian, I have to say it like that or else I'll put a random R in there and it just doesn't work out. But I want to read you something that she sent to me the other day. And this was such a confirmation about what this message today. It says, words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Words are energy. Use them wisely. Now, some of you may have heard that, but I never had. And it was right on the cusp of, getting this powerful download and this message of what I wanted to talk about today on this Wednesday, because I'm in the place of trying to create a some different things in my life. And so I've really been focused in on the power of words. Now, we know that words can heal. We know that words can destroy, and we know that words can create. What it seems like we know the most of is how words can destroy. Because I'm sure there is no one among us, good morning, Tanya. I'm sure there is no one among us that has not had a part of their soul destroyed by words. And we think so much about the words of other people, but we rarely ever honestly look at what our own words about our own self, how it actually plays into the destruction of our own souls. Because everything is language, everything, we consume all day long has something to do with words. We are engulfed in this, and it makes it very powerful to understand how much energy that language and words hold. And one of the examples that I wrote down about how to really drive home that words are energy is how we feel when we get angry and we cuss. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, because that's what brought this whole, subject on for me, is why is it so powerful when you get angry or hurt to call up this cuss word? And what does that word actually mean? There goes my dog. I had to make her stay outside, y'all, so she wouldn't bark this whole meeting. But now she's going to come around here so she can be by me. I love that kid. I love that kid. Anyway, so think about that. When you're in a situation and you just say this word, these syllables with sound behind it. And what do they even mean? They don't really mean anything. It's the energy that is behind them. It's the adrenaline that is working within you when you put forth the intent to speak this word. When someone is being mean or abusive to you, and then you come back, or you're in an argument and you come back and you say these words, it's more about the energy and the emotion that's being released or formed within these things. And that was the moment that really brought this lesson home to me, is how she's going to be in the video whether I like it or not. How can we talk about anything serious? Her name is Sweet Pea. Anyway, how can we? It's just about becoming aware of that energy and becoming aware of how much energy is involved in these statements. And we don't think about being addicted to emotional states. We don't think about that really. When we hear addiction, we automatically, whoever we are, automatically go to substance, no matter what, because that's where we hear the word addiction the most, is to substance. But there are many addictions at play and at work in our lives. And a lot of it is an addiction to misery. And it's hard for us to take responsibility and say, oh yeah, I am addicted to misery, because we don't want to take responsibility for that, because it's hard for us to say, okay, I am responsible for where I am in life, how I feel, and how I move forward, because we cannot transform or change anything until we get to that place, right? So we can't, it's just like inactive addiction. You cannot start to, get into the recovery process if you don't first realize and admit to yourself and take responsibility that, hey, this is an issue in my life. I can't change it if I don't see it as an issue. And so we have to do the same with our emotional states, because a lot of times emotional states are what help take us into relapse. we get into those old emotional states that really are our comfort zones. And that's like misery. And one of the greatest ways that you can begin to tell if this is actually at work in your life, am I addicted to misery, is becoming aware and being mindful of the conversations you have, the words you speak. When you are in a conversation with someone else, what is it that you all are talking about? Are you talking about everything that's wrong in your life? Are you talking about the situations that you don't like? Are you talking about people you don't like? Are you talking about the ways that you have been hurt? Or are you talking about the possibilities of life? Are you talking about how to heal and transmute pain into purpose? Are you talking about where you're going? Or are you constantly only talking about where you've been? Now, all of this language has great energy into create, because I want us to talk about now for a second how words create. You know, most everything we are experiencing in our lives and our reality at this moment are the direct result of words and emotions and thought processes that we have put out into our vortex, if you will, our external reality. It really comes from that. And a lot of people, you know, if you're dealing with health problems and stuff, you don't really understand that. You think that's not true. I've got this health problem that has come in on me. And really what we're finding out scientifically and in all ways is that really that sickness and disease actually is coming up from within that soul. And it is producing out and coming back on us, because we stay locked in those thought processes of that buried anger, that buried resentment, the not knowing what to do with pain. And I want y'all to know something. I've been there. Okay. I stayed this way. I only talk about this because I was unknowingly addicted to misery, because that was all I knew. I had not experienced happiness in a way that let me know that it was available to me. Plus, I had never heard anybody talk about how thoughts and emotions and words create our reality. Had never heard anybody talking about that. So we cannot beat ourselves up for what we don't know. What we have to do is take what we are learning and put it into practice and play in our lives now, and create from that space. Not a space of, well, I wish I'd have known this 20 years ago. Because what's the point in that? You can wish all day, but you don't have a time machine to go back to 20 years ago and fix it. But you do have the power to stand up right now where you are, to get up from your give up and create a life that you love. You have that power. And you may not begin to change your language today and everything change tomorrow, but you didn't get here because of one thought, one word, and one emotion. You didn't get here that way. You got here from what developed into a patterns of speech, into a patterns of thought, into patterns of emotions. We can get very comfortable in the emotions of hurt, heartache, and misery. And that's what I mean when I say misery. I mean all of these things put in together, because I know what it's like to wake up, hate the body that I'm in, feel hopeless, to remember constantly and consistently all the ways that I was abused, harmed when I was not old enough to do anything about it. I know what it's like to feel the resentment and the anger because the people that should have been around here taking care of you didn't, or couldn't, or whatever. I know what it's like to be right in the middle of what I feel like is an abusive situation and not be able to get out of it, or feel like I can't get out of it. I know what all of those things are like. It's the only reason why I show up here and do this, is because I know what it's like to live in a life that you wish wasn't the case. And I only talk to you about these things because these are the ways that I and many others have found to begin to release that pain and that deep down hidden emotion, to release that thing, that place of victimization, to regain your authentic power and to come to understand who you truly are. You are a breath of the creator, the divine. You are an expression of that divinity here on the earth. Good morning, my brother, Anthony McCauley. What's up, JD? You see my co-host? She must have known you were coming this morning, Anthony, because there she is. Look at her looking at you. She's looking at you. Hey, Tracy. So, we got to get to that place where we're living this life until it's our time to go. And I remember a most profound, very innocent statement that a good friend of mine made to me a couple years ago. And it was a moment when I could really transform that and put it into practice in all areas of my life. But he said to me, he said, 3 years are going to happen whether you want it to or not. Why not do your best to create the next 3 years that you want, versus just living at the helms of whatever you want to create? I mean, that's how I lived in active addiction, or so I thought, because I was creating every single day of that active addiction. I just didn't realize it. I didn't realize it. And we are creating in every single moment of this absolute reality, whether we realize it or not. And the power of your words, again, remember, words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Words cast spells. Words can express positive emotions to another human being. Words can express your disdain for another human being. Words can express your hope for the future, and words can express your damnation of the past or your damnation of another human being. And the greatest way to start to begin to embrace your authentic divine power is to begin to become aware of the words you are using in each and every day and moment. You're going to give your mind to something today. Why not let it be the power to create the life that you truly want? And a lot of people say, well, I don't know what kind of life I want, Elsie. Okay, that's in all. I can't tell you the experiments or trials that people have done where it is easier for this human race to know what we don't want more than it is for us to know what we do want. So start there. What don't you want? And don't lend your emotions to understanding what you don't want. Take every moment when you're in that a moment, become awakened and aware to who you are and how you are creating. And in every single conversation you're having, whether it be with your creator, your spouse, your friend, or yourself, what are the words? What are the spells that you are casting? Are you casting spells of having an amazing day? The kind of day where you learn from every occurrence in that day? Or are you having the kind of day that continues your addiction to misery? Or are you having the kind of day that continues your feeling of victimization? There is nothing more powerful on this earth than for a person who once felt like a victim to turn around and take hold of their power. Now, that can go in either way. That can go negative. We see it all the time. School shootings and so much. But we also see in every day a person like me and you and all of you who've gotten up from their give up. That is a person stepping out of that victim role and stepping into their divine power. For a person like me whose authenticity often had to be pushed down and had to be hidden like a secret, because many times my life was on the line if I let that secret out, or at least I believed so. For the only way for me to take my power back and to become who I was divinely created to become in this life, because I don't know about y'all, but there was no way I was going to get clean and sober and still remain the miserable person that I was, because it wasn't going to happen, y'all. I'd already proved that. I might have been able to hold back the dam for a little while, but eventually it would take me over. We can't try to recreate an external life without first recreating our internal life. That's why things don't work. It's not because you're a failure or you can't do this. It's because maybe you're starting in the wrong place. We try to start with abstinence. My recovery program is not about starting with abstinence. It's about starting within and finding out why these habits are in your life anyway. What are they serving? You take any bad habit and you find out what it is serving in your life, and then you start working there, the habit will fall away on its own, because you will be healing areas within you that you are using something external to do. That's with anything. You see, we are awakening to the fact that we must start within. And that's the power in our words. Once a word has been cast, it cannot be undone, even if that word is cast to yourself. When you think it's innocent to call yourself names like klutz, dummy, stupid, anything else that we do in amongst a day when we make a mistake, you are casting a spell on your life. You are speaking directly to your subconscious mind, and you are telling yourself you are stupid, and therefore that evidence has no other choice but to express itself in your life. And the more you say that, it becomes a belief system. It marinates down into your soul, and subconsciously you are creating this reality that every single day forces you to recognize how stupid you are. So the way to begin to transform this is to become aware of what you are saying. Get aware of your emotional state before you have conversations with people. Because again, once something is cast, it cannot be undone. Words leave bruises that don't always heal. And we all know that. We all know that. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has wished at times for a broken arm versus a broken heart, because at least a broken arm I can put in a cast and know that it's going to heal. A broken heart is much deeper to try to figure out and mend. I've felt the same about my children. When my son would have his first broken heart, his first broken heart in love, or his first, not making the football team, or not hitting that, the team that goes out to play every week. It would almost have been better if he would have broken an ankle or something, because, I can help fix that. But I felt powerless to fix the things within him. And so we have to always be mindful of what we cast out with our mouths, of what we cast back in. And if you're wondering where you vibrate today, or you wonder what you're actually putting out, stop for a moment and take a look at your experience. Because you are in every moment creating your reality, your experience. And you can begin to change that today. There's an exercise that I want to leave you with, and it's very, very simple. Hey, Larry Brown. Mwah. It's very simple. I want you just to smile. Smile for 2 minutes straight. Set a timer. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're doing. You can do this by yourself. It's perfectly fine. This is for you. It's not for anybody else. But I want you just to make a smile and hold that smile. And then I want you to get aware, become fully aware and in touch with you at how your mood and your energy begins to change just because you're smiling. Not because you're saying anything, not because anybody's asking you to, but just do that for you and see what I want. What the reason for this is I want you to embrace the power that you have in one decision, one action, and how you can change your feelings, your emotions, and the power of you. Just in this one exercise, you're going to realize how much power you hold over your experience. Perceptions of life are what create how we experience life. And your words are very powerful in changing those perceptions. And my only goal today with this video is for as many people as this message touches, for you then to go out and touch other people in your world with a kind word, with a smile. Regardless of how you feel about them or what they're treating you or the ways that you want them to change. Remember, you cannot create in someone else's reality. It's not because of that anyway. We're all only here to learn how to regulate our own emotions and our own experience. Yes, Jimmy, each one reaches one. And many times the people that you despise the most that are in your reality and you can't get them out are there as beautiful teachers for you on how not to give away your power. Not to give away your reality, not to give away your ability to create. That you can hold your emotional state regardless of the people you're around. I know it doesn't, I know it's not always a fun exercise. I go through it too. Let me tell you something. I'm not perfect and I don't have all this down. It's a daily occurrence. It's a daily work that I do, but it's a heck of a lot more fun than figuring out how I'm going to rob, steal, or destroy something or someone today so that I can get just a momentary breather from all the pain and emotion that I feel. Because either way, you're going to be working at something. So wrap your work up into more joyful and playful experiences. Recovery is not this daunting task that, it has been led to believe. We are an awakened society. We are an awakening humanity. This is our time where we are coming closer to who we truly are, which is an expression of the divine creator. Each one of us uniquely as ourselves. The way you were made is on purpose. You're not a mistake. You're not an accident. What you feel deep within you is doing its best to emerge from you. Step out of the way. Doesn't matter what society points their finger and says, because anyone who tries to leave the herd is going to be ridiculed. But you're going to be ridiculed anyway. It's not like you say, okay, I'm with the herd, and the herd embraces you. No, they're still going to find ways to tear you down. So wherever you're starting today, whatever age you are, whatever stage you're in, whatever, stand up where you are today. brush yourself off. Get up from your give up and create a life that you love, and it's nobody else's business. You got to love your life in order for you to want to live it and live it to its fullest. And the gift of addiction has led you to this beautiful place. Otherwise, you may not ever break away from the herd. You may never have known who you truly are and the power you hold. I love you all. I love you all. Oh yeah. Our struggles reveal our strengths and tests become testimonies. The right choice is usually not the easy choice. And that is the truth. And if we redefine what we have decided easy is, we can change that around. I love you all. Hey, Pam V. Pam V's awake this morning. Pamela Topjian's awake this morning. All our West Coasters are up and ready to meet the day or take another nap. Either way, I'm so grateful that you all have joined me. This has been a powerful moment in my life, I know, and will set the trajectory for this day to be amongst the most powerful day that I've had in a very long time. I love you all so much. And like I promised you, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I'm going to make sure that you receive this gift from Breakthrough Hypnotherapy. So for all of our Recovery Soul Food listeners, if you go to hypnobreakthrough.com or Breakthrough Hypnotherapy here on Facebook, and you meet up with Pamela Topjian, and you tell her that you are a Recovery Soul Food listener, she is going to give you an amazing, amazing gift of not only a free consultation and free sample session, but a full free session. Now, I meet with Pamela once a week and have a session, and I can just tell you that so many of those unseen blockages in my life, all of that deep-seated resentment and anger and the things that were holding me back that I'm unable to see, so many of them have been broken open through this work. And I'm so grateful for Pamela, and I'm grateful for, her giving our soul family such a beautiful gift. And so y'all make sure that you head over to hypnobreakthrough.com or Breakthrough Hypnotherapy on Facebook and Twitter, and mention Recovery Soul Food, and you're going to get that amazing gift. All right, everyone, I love you, and I want you to have the most amazing winning Wednesday of your entire life, because you choose to, and yes, you are that powerful. Until next time. Bye, guys.